Here are today's top 5 crypto stories. The biggest short squeeze on record just sent Bitcoin back above $70,000. And it started in Washington, not on a chart. 1. Bitcoin surged around 11% on Thursday, clearing $72,000 for the first time since early June. Behind that move is a graveyard. Roughly $3.1 billion in short positions were liquidated in 24 hours, against barely $277 million in longs. Around $1.8 billion of that was Bitcoin shorts. Another $1.2 billion was Ether shorts, as Ether jumped almost 19% to around $2,300. The single largest casualty, a $48.8 million Bitcoin short on Hyperliquid. Statisticians measured the day as the largest upside shock in almost 3 years. 2 days earlier, this market was being described in capitulation terms, down nearly half from October's all-time high, near 126,000. The short side was the crowded trade. Then, Washington lit the match. On Wednesday, President Trump hosted crypto executives at the White House, Coinbase's Brian Armstrong and Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse among them, and publicly pushed the Senate to pass the Clarity Act, the bill that would finally define which tokens are securities and which are commodities. The same day, the Treasury doubled its buybacks of long-term government debt, pushing yields down and money toward risk. Trump even floated expanding the strategic Bitcoin reserve. So 2 government decisions moved the price: a promised rulebook and cheaper money. The procedural vote on the Clarity Act is September 15th. It needs 60 senators. The market just told you which outcome $3 billion was forced to bet on. 2. While shorts were burning, someone was selling. Short-term holders moved 44,300 Bitcoin onto exchanges, the largest profit-taking wave this year. The average short-term holder paid around $67,100. The 200-day average sits near $69,000. Both are now underwater marks for the sellers, and the Fear and Greed Index just hit its highest reading since October. Squeezes create exit liquidity. Whether this rally holds depends on who absorbs those coins next. 3. This was not a Bitcoin-only move. Ether rose almost 19% Thursday and about 20% on the week. XRP jumped around 10%, and the ETF lane lit up, with Bitwise's XRP products printing a record $300 million in volume, around 6% of the category. Breadth plus ETF activity is how a squeeze becomes a trend. Without follow-through, it stays what it was on Thursday: one forced buying event. 4. Ionic Digital, the mining company rebuilt from the wreckage of Celsius, says 90% of its revenue now comes from AI infrastructure. $48.6 million this quarter, up 31% year over year, with 234 megawatts contracted and a path to 700 by the end of next year. That is the 3rd miner this month, repositioning as an AI landlord. The hash rate business is quietly becoming a power and real estate business. 5. The rulebooks behind this rally are all on timers. The SEC's first crypto regulation is in its public comment window. So are the Treasury's stablecoin rules under the Genius Act, and the Clarity Act vote sits 26 days out. 3 separate clocks now decide which tokens, which issuers, and which platforms legally exist in the American market. The price moved first. The paperwork decides if it was right. $3 billion in shorts gone, greed at a 10-month high, and every catalyst on this board is a date in Washington. That is crypto today. Here's today's question for you. A record short squeeze just delivered the year's biggest rally on a policy promise, not a product. If your bull case now depends on a Senate vote count, do you actually own an asset or a bet on Congress? I want your honest read in the comments, especially if you were on the wrong side of Thursday. Blue pill. Clarity was always the unlock. This squeeze is the market finally pricing a legal future for crypto, and the reserve talk means a government bid under the market. Red pill, an asset invented to need no permission, now rallies hardest on permission. The more the price depends on Washington's calendar, the more crypto trades like everything else, politically captured and one vote away from repricing. $3.1 billion just chose a side. The timeline keeps moving. We will see you in the next one.